Okay, so on this next video, we're gonna start the implementation to add some movement to our player. So we want our player to be able to move front, back, and sideways using the AWSD input keys. So let's go ahead and start all the process to implement that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start on the content drawer and add one more input action. So similar to how we did one for our jump, moving around is is basically a different kind of input action that we can do, a different type of move. So let's go ahead here, go input action, and now let's call this IA as in input action, my move. Okay, so I'm gonna double click on this, and now here we're gonna choose for our value type something different. We're gonna choose a vector to the value type. Okay, so now why are we choosing vector 2D for this? Because if we look at our character in the viewport section, you can click here for taking a look at this. Here we can see that our player is actually located in some coordinates, right? Like as you can see, front or back, if we want to move front or back for our player, that means we are going, remember in the bottom left side, you have the coordinates. Front and back is basically moving within the x-axis. Front and back within the x-axis. And if we're gonna move sideways like this, using the AD keys, that means we're moving back and forth in the y-axis. So basically moving front, back, and sideways is just essentially moving in the x and y coordinates, right? So that is why we have to choose a two-dimensional vector for our value type because we are moving in two different dimensions, in two different coordinates, whenever we are going to be doing this input action, okay? Make sure you save that. And now we are going to go to our input mapping context to implement this move. So we already did the mapping for the jump. Now let's add one more for my move. Okay. So now whenever we implement this, we're gonna now map the key events how we did earlier. So let's start first with the W. Then I'm gonna say plus. Let me add now the S. Now plus, I'm gonna add now the A. Plus, I'm gonna add now the D. So WASD for the four keys we're gonna need. Now they are mapped correctly there. Okay, so we're almost there, but the thing is that right now, even though we map the WASD keys, we haven't really specified to which direction should each key move at. So we know W is for front and S is for back, but we haven't really told the Unreal Engine that that is what's supposed to do. So basically we're gonna expand here. Let's expand on this arrow symbol. And now here is where we're gonna be learning the concept that this video is actually about, which is input modifiers, this tab right here. So here we're gonna click plus on input modifiers. And now we're in this modifier, we're gonna say exactly to which direction is it that we want to move our W. So from these options that you're gonna get here, we're gonna choose color because color is, as you can see, input depending on an axis, okay? So we're gonna choose color, and then when you do that, you're gonna go ahead here and expand this arrow symbol because here you can specify exactly in which axis your key is going to be moving at. So basically, when I do the W key, in which axis do I wanna move? So in that case, whenever I do W, I wanna move uh, positively, sorry, in the y-axis. So I wanna leave a value of 1 for y, and then I wanna leave 0 for the rest. Okay, so it should be 0, 1, 0, because I don't wanna move sideways, I don't want to move in the Z, I just want to move front, just Y. So that's why it's just 1 here. Okay, let's do similar logic for the rest. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand S. Then same thing, one more modifier, scalar, and then expand here. And now the S is for going back. So I don't want to move sideways, so 0 for X, 0 for C. But I don't want to move front on Y. I want to move back. So I'm going to choose -1 for the Y. So as you can see, +1 for moving front, -1 for moving back. So that's why -1Y for S. Okay, so hopefully with this mapping, you kind of get the idea of how the moving direction is happening. Now let's go on the A, same thing, modifiers, scalar, expand, and now here we want to move sideways, but A is moving to the left, right? So we are going to choose 0 for Y because we're not moving front, 0 for C. We're moving to the left, so we're moving negatively in the x-axis. So we're going to choose -1 for A. And then finally, we're just missing D. So similar process. We're going to add one modifier. We're going to choose scalar. We're going to expand. And now, similar concept. We don't want to move in the y-axis. We don't want to move in the z. We just want to move to the right side, right? D is for moving on the right. So we want to move positively in the x-axis. So 1. Okay, so make sure you have these coordinates correctly. It can be easy to mess them up. So make sure you have, same as me, for these 4 different key events, okay? So let's leave it until this point for input modifiers. And in the next videos, we will complete the implementation for moving in our character.